Good morning. This is Shelley with Awakening Spirit. I wanted to talk a little bit about something that was coming up for me today. Has to do with limiting beliefs. I know we all have that voice in our head that is kind of saying, are you sure you want to do this? Maybe you're not ready. Maybe you should wait a little bit. Why don't you wait until you feel confident? Why don't you wait until you feel motivated? And so we put things off, tell ourselves we're going to do them later, we're going to take action towards our dreams, and unfortunately, many times those things just never happen. I'm sure all of us can look back on things that we hoped we would do or even said to others that we would do that never ended up happening. And a lot of times it's not because we don't want it in our heart, it's because the ego, the mental, the inner critic, whatever you want to call it, in trying to keep us safe and trying to keep us comfortable, is also keeping us in old ruts, in old patterns. And so I wanted to just talk about two things that I've realized that my inner critic tells me sometimes that are garbage ideas that I need to throw out and keep going whenever I hear them. And the first one is wait until you feel ready. Guess what? Whenever you start doing anything that's new, you're not gonna feel ready. And if you wait until you feel perfectly ready and confident, it won't happen. You just won't do it. It's gonna feel uncomfortable every time you try something new. But the good news is when you face that feeling of uncomfortableness or even fear and you take action, and you survive. It might not be comfortable, but you're fine. You are training your mind that you are capable. Every time you have a doubt and you don't take action because of the doubt, it's doing the exact opposite to your mind. It's saying, see, I told you we couldn't do it and we didn't do it and we were safe because we didn't do it. And it's making that reaction stronger. That's not what we want to strengthen. So with every decision, thinking to ourselves, am I acting out of love and for what I want and a faith that the universe has abundance for me? Or am I acting out of a place of fear and doubt and lack and I better conserve my resources? And a lot of times we're acting from a place of lack. That's unfortunately where a lot of us go, and it's what limits us. Second thing, two, not one. Second thing that my ego tells me a lot that I've learned that I need to ignore is I need to wait until I feel motivated. Okay. Some mornings you get up. Some clients I've worked with in the past as a mental health professional, you don't want to do anything. You might not even want to get out of bed. That's where I was going with that when I was saying the mental health clients. Some of them, they wouldn't even have the motivation to get out of bed. Other mornings you wake up, you just don't, there's no motivation there. And if you don't do anything all day, at the end of the day, you're likely going to feel even less motivated to do something the next day because you didn't accomplish anything. Where does motivation come from? Motivation comes from doing something, knowing that you accomplished it, having that feeling of success, and that builds the momentum that keeps going. So what people have asked me in the past is, okay, how am I supposed to do that? If I'm telling you that I am in this low place where I feel like I have accomplished nothing or I have nothing to show for my efforts, where's the motivation supposed to come from then? I get that. It's really hard. I am not one of these rah-rah motivational speakers who says, just suck it up and go full force every day, because usually what ends up happening in that situation, someone who has no motivation and then makes a long list of goals for themselves, then feels even worse when they don't accomplish them. Okay, so here is the hack on that. Having mini habits that you are going to accomplish every day, taking baby steps, and then that lets you know you build a little bit of momentum. You do that, it opens up a little bit more energy. Continually taking steps towards your goal, even if they feel insignificant. Book that I read a couple years ago on mini habits was great. It talked about habits being stupid small. It said, like, a common mistake people make is saying, I'm going to go to the gym every day for an hour. And then what happens? One day they don't go to the gym for an hour, and then they feel like they failed. And then that, maybe it was a New Year's resolution, is out the window and they don't care. Now, the author was saying, what if I said instead, I'm doing one sit-up a day? And people are like, one sit-up is not a workout. It's not going to get you anywhere. It's not going to accomplish anything. But the idea is not that one sit-up is going to change the world, or even one sit-up every day. The idea is, if you make yourself do that one small thing and tell your brain, yes, this is successful, then you're building on success. So if you only did one sit-up, great. If you do 2 or 3 or 100, because usually once people get started, the momentum builds and they keep going. You are building the habit of success in your brain, rather than saying, if I have a minor setback, I've failed. So that's the other thing. Even if you do have a day where you do nothing, or where everything you do fails, I'm going to say those two separately. If you have a day where you do nothing, get up the next day and start again. Setbacks aren't being set back to square one unless you let it. That is a mindset thing. Setbacks are not permanent. Second of all, failure is sort of a complicated term, because we view it as failure being the opposite of success, but the most successful people fail again and again and again. Failure is feedback. If you treat failure as an opportunity to learn rather than an end point, you are still succeeding. Hope that helps. Have a wonderful day.